All right. Can we get to Mr. Bassett first of all? And Drake, how are you, sir? Good to have you.
I'm doing great, Paul. Great to see you this morning, and great to see you too.
Good to see you. A little bit of a recap, and when Steve is on camera there, you can get him on also. But tell me about your thoughts as we neared the end of this thing yesterday.
Well, I think it was all day. It was an exciting day, and we seemed to progress through the day consistent with previous years, and we were a little bit ahead. But going into the final minutes of the game, it was we were cutting it close if we wanted to break last year's record. So, told Richard offline. I said, "Look, this is first and goal, and you got under a minute to get this done. Let's see what we can do to get this done." No surprise, Mississippi delivered.
Yeah, we were a little bit worried about it. Mr. Davenport is with us too. Steve, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Did you have any doubt at all that we were going? Yeah, did you make the trip or did you?
I did not.
You did not. Well, so you were watching it from the confines,
I'm
like
on the
everybody
injured
else.
reserve list.
Is that what it is? I know the feeling, by the way. So your thoughts about it yesterday, sir?
Well, I just think it's just a continuation of us raising money and helping Palmer Home do the great deeds they do. Yeah. It's just amazing how many Mississippians step forward and over this 10-year period, how many people now know who the Palmer Home is. And I think that's really important that, when they go around the state and they try to help kids, they can say, yeah, I know y'all do that telethon. I know who you are. And I think that helps. It's basically helped brand the Palmer Home, and it does wonders for our people. And I can't tell you how much I want to thank all the people who gave their time, even though they work for us. They don't, this is a freebie, and they go up there and they do all this. And all the people who worked in it, and it was our entire staff, and the video's gotten unbelievable now. I was watching it, and it's amazing how that's gotten. And so it's just, and it makes you feel good. I mean, you get up the next morning, you say, it makes you feel good. And we've raised close to $2.5 million, and that's just over the 10-year period, and that's just unbelievable.
Drake and I mentioned this yesterday, and I mean, we all three of us would say the same thing. When somebody's raising money, come on, that's I don't care what cause it is. It's hard to not just hit the dial and go somewhere else for a while. Our people didn't do that, man. They stuck with us for a long time, either on TV or on radio or computer, and they came through on this thing. And we didn't mention that enough yesterday. I don't think I did enough, and I thought about this later at what Steve said. There is a value almost as much or more in just letting people know what the Palmer Home is over the years, is it not?
Absolutely. There are pockets in the state of Mississippi who, previous to Radiothon over these past few years, really didn't know that Palmer Home existed. And more importantly, and I think I've mentioned this to you and to Steve before, every year, after the Radiothon, we hear from somebody that needs our services. And when you think about all the good that we're doing in terms of raising the money, and that's going to make an impact, when you discover that, it's the Radiothon that helped the family find Palmer Home and bring a child that really needs us, well, that's even better. So, again, awareness across the state, awareness we probably couldn't create on our own. With the power of the radio stations in so many pockets now. I've enjoyed talking with all the affiliate stations. Got texts from some of the folks yesterday saying, "Hey, we're playing the interviews." It's just great. So thank you, Steve and Paul, for bringing your audience and letting us all be together on this.
Yeah. Well, I was worried yesterday, and Perez said I had little faith, but I had at the third hour, because we usually go 4, and we achieved what we did in 4 hours and 3 hours. And for us, when you start from a zero board, and I followed this on like Steve did on TV periodically through the day yesterday, and I thought, my goodness, man, that trajectory seems to be to the point where it's going to be better than I thought it was. But, Steve, your thoughts, sir?
Well, Paul, not to change the subject, but that's the first time I've been in this chair. Once all these computers and all this stuff here, I know the Italian guy can't work as much.
Well, it's all these things you paid for. It's just,
That's unbelievable. Well, I think it's the greatest one thing our company does is the Palmer Home. It is the greatest thing that we do, and and when they came to us 10 years ago, and Craig Ray's father, and we started this, and sadly he passed away that year and didn't get to see this, but it's unbelievable what this does to help kids. And with what's going on in the world today, I mean, right now in the state of Mississippi, you're talking about trying to do something with the adoption laws and all the problems that people have, and the kids out there in the bad situations. And you can raise money for an organization that takes no state or federal dollars. I mean, just think about what that means, that they have the ability to operate. And when you give them money, that money goes to those kids. And that's what I think it's unbelievable what they do at Palmer Home, and it's growing and growing, and we look forward for many more years and for them to expand their footprint and get bigger and bigger, because I think they're, as Drake will tell you, they're not even touching the number of kids there. There's so many kids out there.
Drake, let me ask you this, because we have a total of $330,992.25. Where does the actual total, because it's nearly about $5,000 on the silent auction, which has, 4 or 5 more hours to do. Do you put that in at the end of the day, and do we get an adjustment next week?
Yes, we'll send you an adjusted figure, and unlike your taxes and other things like that, we don't expect it to go to be negative. We expect this to be a positive. So we're real excited that people are still participating, and I just want to echo what Steve says, and just it is such a powerful day, because it's the one day in the year when everybody gets to touch and participate in Palmer Home, and we hear from so many people. Well, there's no other day like that, where everybody can listen and hear those stories and call in, and we hear from. You just wouldn't believe the number of people we hear from. People that appreciate what we're doing, and then new people. So. Steve, I'll cherish those words, that it's the one thing you all do. It's the greatest thing you do, because you do so many good things, reaching across the state and so many issues. But this is awesome, and it's such a great partnership. It means so much to our staff. Our staff was excited. I don't know, you may have seen. I had to pay with a cannonball in the pool, but that was okay. I was happy to do it when we broke the record.
And it does, as I said earlier, it does it to our staff. I mean, the guys on the air, Paul and Rebecca and Richard and Gerard and Haydad and Michael Borky and all these people.
Yeah, and Rhino's beard. We have to have Rhino's beard.
And also all the work Alex, and people know Alex in Houston, and Cammie, who still works for us out of Florida, doing all the internet stuff for us. And Emma Ray helped us on doing some of the digital stuff we had to get done. But I think it's outstanding. And, Paul, they still – I don't think the auction's closed, and they still got an Archie Manning hat up there. I mean, that football helmet, somebody needs to – I don't know what the price was. We probably need to get that up a little.
The price of that is $525.
Oh, no, we may have to go in and put some money. We may have to improve that.
Now, again, it's signed by not only Archie, but was it the whole team?
1970 team, yeah. Played in the Sugar Bowl, yeah.
$525? Come on, folks.
So we'll. I'll go in Kim Dillon, president of the company's office here in a minute, see if we can adjust that. So we need to get that adjusted.
All right.
But again, Drake, I can't tell you what it does for us and what it makes us feel and how good it makes us feel. And in today's life, there's very few things that make you feel like this.
That's
the other part of this, Drake, is can you hang on for one more second here for a second? But the other part of this is what it's done for not only the people there, but just to get the word out as far as house parents. And some people hearing this and saying, that's something that maybe I'd like to try. And we can touch on that when we come back for the final segment. Coming up next. I think this is an appropriate song because yesterday, with over $330,000, we were, as the new state song says, one Mississippi.
Perez, put the president on.
It's the
Well,
president.
she's going to have to move her mic unless you want me to come.
Oh, you got to you got to have a mic, Kim. I know you run this place, but you got. I mean, that's essential. That's essential to have.
and tell her, don't forget, it's television too, by the way. So.
Oh, I know. That's the worst part.
So just take
Hi,
me
Kim,
off
how are
and put
you?
her on there.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can make that magic happen.
Prez, can you not operate this?
This is not going to be as easy.
This is not going to be as easy as
Okay.
it.
No. Yeah, we can hear you though, so please go ahead.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Kim. Go ahead. Well, for what I will say, Kim Dillon, the president of the company's here, and of course, when we first started this, she was the driving force, along with I guess Craig Ray's family. And I mentioned at the end to thank Emma Ray. How old was Emma when her granddad asked us to do this? I could have been 10 years old, so she's probably 15 now. So she
Yeah.
was probably 5.
Yeah.
She came in and interned for us for a while too, and that's been a few years ago.
Yeah, she has.
There you go, Kim. You're on the ET. How are you?
You can't look at yourself, Kim. You got to look forward.
I'm good, Paul.
No. You have to suffer what we suffer every day on this thing now. There's television, so there you go.
It's easier to tell y'all what to do than do it, right, Paul?
Yeah, she did. Yeah. But I got to tell you, the television part of this, which we're all trying to get used to, and yesterday is a perfect example, as Steve says. I mean, it was professionally done,
It
and
was.
it just brings a whole new meaning to the radiothon itself. So
It was. I unfortunately had to be out of town for a funeral and was watching and listening as much as I could. And it was just, I told the team last night, I was just so proud of them, because it seems like we have done this for 10 years, but we just step it up every year and make something better every year. And
I will also say,
And Drake, your team was amazing. I can't say enough good things about what y'all do at Palmer and the team that you have behind you, and I really liked your cannonball in the pool at the end.
Well, by the end of the day, I was really happy to do it. Kim, we just love working with your staff. We know it's a lot to engineer, and the way they go about it. What we detect and appreciate is it's not a job, for them in this.
Right.
They have all connected in some way or another personally with what we're trying to do, and that's kind of what we feel as a staff. So when they come around, we're all just one team, and it's really, really great to work with them. And we appreciate, it's a sensitive thing when you're trying to work with the lives of children, but at the same time, you're trying to help people understand. And your team's done a really great job, just telling the story. And yesterday, the first time in the Wellness Center, talking about being on TV, we had screens all through the building. And while our folks that were taking calls were down the hall, we had it up on the screen so everybody could see and hear. And it was just a great, shared event for everybody, and a lot of energy and a lot of people. And so, by the time we got to the cannonball, I was a happy camper. So it was all wonderful.
I did get to watch the last of the Radiothon, and I just was so amazed with you and Richard. I mean, y'all were bringing it home. I mean, down to the last. I think y'all were in the last second there.
listen, that shot of the shot of the callers, all of the volunteers and the callers from the conference room, that was impressive, very, very impressive, and the entire Wellness Center is a first-class operation there.
Yes, it's beautiful.
We're really grateful, and it's because of Radiothon, and Steve mentioned this earlier. The reach that this has made. We have a number of new donors who come to us by way of Radiothon, but they stay with us, and so when you build that base, you're able to ask them to take new steps, and this Wellness Center reflects that, and that's our testimony, our flag in the ground of the future. We're going to be here a long time, and we intend to do more and more. As Steve said, we want to reach more and serve more.
As we near the end of the program, I need to tell you, Drake, that I've answered about 3 or 4 on the social media this morning on C Spire text line and Twitter, asking how they donated. They missed it yesterday, but they heard this morning. Some of those are from out of town, so you'll have more donations coming in. Guys, we thank you so very, very much. Kim, final thoughts?
it was just a good day in Mississippi, and I'm so proud that everybody stepped up and gave, and I would challenge everybody to continue to do so.
No.
But thank you, Drake.
You got it. Mr.
for
D,
what
you got
y'all
a
do.
final thought in here in the last 10 seconds?
Oh, I'll just say what Kim said, that, we're just proud to be associated with the Palmer Home, and, they need money 12 months out of the year, so you don't have to wait till the telethon to give money. You can write a check today, and we hope you will.
Unfortunately, we get back to normal on Monday. I don't know if it's unfortunate, but we get back to normal on Monday. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you Monday morning, 6 a.m. Ciao.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
I'm not ready.